So, welcome Andrew to this video. I wrote a script down of everything that I'm gonna say, but it's gonna look like if I'm looking at you, so forget about it. I hope you enjoy watching it as much as I will enjoy making it. Let's just begin. So, number 1, what areas of aesthetic interest you? Now, I went ahead and wrote my mission statement, so here it is. To induce the audience to say, wow! You can tell they had a lot of fun making this. Now, this implies 3 things. Number 1, it implies that very little CGI was used. Even though when something is 100% CGI and green screen, it looks very grandiose and you could never recreate that in real life, it somehow seems like a dessert that seems really yummy, but yet has no flavor. I would take bread more than like something with no flavor. The second thing it implies is that every person on set was in the same frequency, because to make something that cool, everyone has to be on the same page. And the third thing it implies is that you can tell it didn't seem like a chore to them, like a job for money, but as a game that they all played, like a big inside joke. It's about to rain. So, number 2, what does aesthetic mean to you? It means a lot of things. Let's begin. It means to actually do something that can go down in the history books as fun and rejuvenizing. For example, I'm very proud of Christopher Nolan when he said in an article that no CGI was used in any of his shots for the movie Oppenheimer. That's pretty cool. I really liked it in the basketball stadium speech when he's like, I'm so proud of what you have accomplished. Because right before then, all the people in the stands were screaming, RP, and it sounded like if they were screaming my name, like RP, Anyway, I don't mean that he dropped an atom bomb for the sake of cinema, although that would be fabulous. I mean that every single shot there has some real tangible substance in it. Not one shot contains 100% CGI. What you see kind of did happen in some way, with an asterisk. You can never be perfect. You can never drop an atom bomb and get away with it, but you can get pretty damn close. Another example by my boy Chris is his movie Interstellar. And I mean, okay, although he did not go to space to shoot a wormhole and a black hole and put a GoPro on the ship, he didn't do any of that for real. But what I do like about it is that these scientific phenomena are shown in the movie just like the 3D models of scientists show of what a wormhole and a black hole would actually look like. Whew, that movie. My boy Chris showed us what a black hole would look like 5 years before NASA released the first photograph of a black hole ever. And that shit was blurry as fuck. That was a royal victory in cinema, and by my count. Number 3, how do you approach creativity with an eye on crafting your personal aesthetic? When I make a movie, I make sure that you understand that what you're about to see actually happened. I haven't made that many movies, and I obviously don't have the budget for a CGI and green screen, and I just have different plans. But anyway, for example, if you see a slap, I want you to make sure by the sound and by the look that you know that it was a real slap, and it wasn't a stunt actor substituting the principal actor. It was the what you see is what you get. Oh, there's about to be a storm. Number 4, how can time, space, and memory help to enrich your output as a filmmaker? Well, I recently found out about the true depth of a filmmaker's ability to control time. And I don't just mean the superficial, you just put everything in a timeline and you can choose the order of the timeline. No. I mean, you can shoot a scene with a person with long hair, and then after you shoot that, you can cut their hair or even shave their head and begin to shoot a flashback scene. Now that's pretty cool. As for space, I like to cast a big net in order to catch the most amount of fish. This means that I want to capture as much depth as possible in my shots for maximum cinematic pleasure for the viewer. I also like to shoot very organized, somewhat akin to Wes Anderson vibes. It's cleaner this way, I identify with it, and it positions you to take some amazing shots, I admit. As for memory, I believe that every person is a culmination of all of their memories experienced up until this point. Belt. Number 5. What are concepts you hope to play with as you develop in your field and craft? I am infatuated with the idea of reversing entropy. I like it because it implies that whatever has happened is about to happen, and whatever is about to happen already happened. Pretty cool time travel shit. I really like that. That's my shit. Number 6. Theories, movies discussed throughout the quarter that inspire you. I don't remember the movies, but I do remember the readings. And I'll go through the ones that I went through great lengths in order to maintain in my subconscious. They're not going anywhere. In no particular order, here they come. The idea of the figure. And my definition of the figure is an archetype in a film that stays within the audience's collective unconscious. I also like the idea that cinema is a philosophical experiment where you can throw shit to the wall and see what sticks. So it can be a useful tool, cinema. It also implies that time is more malleable than we think. Even though time flows around 60 seconds per minute, our perception of that time flowing can be infinitely molded. There's a quote by Einstein, I'll put it right here. Hell yeah. I also like that cinema is effectively the amalgamation of all the 7 arts that come before it. I think that if we were to compare the 7 arts to the 7 chakras, then cinema would be the secret 8th chakra that floats above the crown chakra, and it's a personal chakra to every being alive. So I also appreciate Laura Mulvey's direction of challenging the current cinematic status quo. I would prefer to cast androgynous actors like me. They're just sexier, you can't go wrong with them, and it's cleaner that way. So yeah. Finally, I like the idea proposed by my boy John Dewey. Yes, he urged us to take art off the damn pedestal. I'm reminded of a parable that I don't know where I heard it. Whether I heard it in a dream or reality, I cannot say. But it goes something like this.
12 seconds later.
The aesthetic of this fabric is just beyond belief.
A few inches later.
Look, Daddy, the king is naked. And it all comes crashing down. My goal is to be like the little kid. To say the cold truth that nobody wants to say, but everybody wants to hear. Number 7. Which theories made you think differently about cinema? Well, John Dewey said something really deep when he said that art is not exclusive to the elites or talented. A mustache. Art is a gift that we all use at all times of the day, like a surprise tool that will be useful for later. Art can be something as simple as stopping in the middle of the sidewalk to smell the flowers that are right next to the shop, just as art can be traveling to Paris to seeing the Mona Lisa with your eyes. I mean, you can just look it up, you don't have to actually go to Paris. But they're both equally art in my eyes. There's a really good quote from the movie Dune, I'll just play it right here. Number 9. How can a deeper understanding of aesthetics help you become a more dynamic member of the film community? My job is to make the movie that people are too hesitant to make. And every time I get an idea for a short, I know that it's going to change the world forever, every single time. I always say something along the lines of, this may be a heavy undertaking, but I will be successful. I can do this! Something of that nature. I keep spitting. Ugh, fuck. Now, I recently found out that luck favors the bold. Basically, the worst thing they can say is no. Moving on. Number 10. What do you want to examine as you build a life in media? I did save the best for last. Here it comes. My final goal on this earth is to find the truest of truths. It has been proven, and don't ask me for a source. My source is just trust me, bro. Like, my source is also go read a book, bro, which I know you have. So I guess not you, but like, so that's my source. It has been proven that the government has been lying to us since even before I was born, and I was born after 9/11. Surely by now the government must have found the secret life hacks that can be harnessed to create a better and cooler world for all people. Nikola Tesla had to die was because he was onto something. He was on to create a newer world with free energy. He literally had it in the palm of his hands. But then daddy capitalism was all like, free? Oh! Sorry, I must have been hearing things. No free energy. So he had to die. I did a quick Google search on how Tesla died. It says he died of a heart attack. But the next sentence right after that says, and I quote, "Agents from the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI agents, immediately removed the papers from Tesla's safe, claiming wartime security concerns. Yet this war has been over for a long time, and trust me, you and I will never see those notes from Tesla's safe, ever. They're too powerful. I seek that power, not for myself, but so that I may understand it and find a way where it would apply to the world that we live in order to help the most amount of people." I had that revelation last summer. I've never really fasted before last summer. For financial reasons, I had to basically fast for 3 weeks straight. And by fasting, I mean that I only had enough money to buy one sandwich every day for 3 weeks. So for 3 weeks, all I ate was one sandwich a day. You don't really know what hunger means until you go 3 weeks only eating one sandwich a day. And that summer changed me, because how many people are there in this planet who will go all of today without eating a single thing? And yet we buy shoes that we don't need to impress people we don't like. It just doesn't make sense. So there's obviously something missing, and I seek to find that missing something, the truest truth. My mission, should I choose to accept it, is to reveal the truest truth in order to find the useful shit, in order to become the optimal human being. Thank you. Kindly, Arpi.